Here.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the Heavenly Citizens Club. My name is Taylor, and today I actually have my husband with me, Aspen, who is going to chat with me to you about marriage and the things that we encountered when we were dating, and then also just leading into marriage. We're giving our own personal experiences, but we hope this episode blesses you, and I'll talk to you soon. So
That
I'm
ain't
really
bad at
excited about
all.
this episode because I'm here with my husband, Aspen. All right, so what were some of the most important things that you found while we were dating and how that essentially transpired into dating to marriage?
What was
Good
really important to
question.
me was how intentional you were with your faith, your belief in
Hmm.
Christ as well.
I
And it was
want
a
to
thing
pause it right
where
there, but
one
let
of
him
our
speak.
first official dates, you kind of let out, the boundaries of, hey, this is what I believe, this is what I'm looking for. So I felt like just you being intentional about what you expected from me and anybody we were dating, like that
Right.
meant a lot because it showed me that your heart was in the right place. And you knew what you wanted to, and that was the same thing I wanted. So that's that like-mindedness that I really like.
Hmm.
So to give y'all the tea, so essentially the first conversation that we had, like one thing about me is I wasn't about to waste any time because I just was in a place where I just didn't want to waste any more time. And some of the things that we talked about on our first date was, and I don't think it's ever too early to talk about these things, especially if you're taking someone seriously, but
Okay.
we're not having sex before marriage. Things that I expected boundary wise, and even trying to honor the whole I guess not having premarital sex, but
Right.
the boundaries that had to go in place in order to keep that covenant.
Yeah,
Right.
and it was like
Yeah.
accountability that was important to me. And I was like, okay, like this is being on the same page with the same things is easier to stay on the same path.
Exactly.
So that was really important too.
Hey, that's important because I know myself. I used to lie to myself and play those type of games. You know what type of games I'm talking about. The games where you're like, all right, I'm shaving and I'm taking care of myself and I'm showering, but I'm not planning on sleeping with this girl. We're just gonna go out. We're just gonna enjoy each other's company, and then I'm gonna call it a night. And then you're playing the game of, all right. I mean, she's talking like that. She's kind of opening the door like she wants to see if we're gonna be hanging out all night throughout the night. She's saying she's not in a rush. She would like to just hang out. She has nothing to do in the morning. She's dropping subtle hints, but she's also maintaining the same mindset I am on paper, on text. She's making it seem like, I'm not looking for anything and nothing has to happen, but we're just going with the flow. And then I'm telling myself, okay, I'm not gonna go out of my boundaries with Christ. I know I have no business having relations with a woman unless I'm dating her and dating to marry. Really, what the young lady said, not before marriage. But the point I'm making is, I know those are boundaries. I know those are rules that I'm breaking, and here I am trying to stay within my boundaries. Okay, I'm just going out. I'm going out. We're gonna have a good night. Show her a fun time. Be good company. Be amongst her good company and call it a night. It's healthy. You need the balance. You need the balance of engaging with people. You need the balance of relationships. You need the balance of sometimes flirting with someone that you find attractive. It's balance, especially as a young man, full of energy and ambitious and always steadily at work and focused. You need to break out of that and keep healthy habits. But here we go. I'm walking out now. Do I grab the protection or do I leave the protection there? Not that protection, YNs, relax. But do I go upstairs and grab protection for relations? What would I need it for if, according to my story, in my mind, I'm telling myself, nothing's gonna happen, nothing's gonna happen? So do I end up leaving with protection or do I end up not leaving with protection? Me, I know that might not work for everybody because there's a lot of y'all who are a little bit more reckless. I know good and well if I don't grab that protection, nothing is happening without a shadow of a doubt. My mind is not even going there, and there will be no convincing. Especially, usually, this is late night. We're having dinner. We're not going to be around a place where I can go, I changed my mind. Let me go to the store real quick. It's not going to happen. No bodega late night trips. So do I make the decision to walk out that house, not grab protection, knowing I just made the decision that no matter how this night goes, it doesn't end with relations? Or do I grab protection and keep telling myself, well, it's not just in case, but it's just in case. Those stupid games you play with yourself. So what they're touching on is important. I know some of y'all think, well, the question in your mind right now is, was she already sexually active when she decided to come in this relationship and say nothing till marriage? I know that's a question that men have. And amongst other men, I think that's a fair question. I think that's fair to assess it when you're dealing with a woman. And as much as I've been on this, on this channel, on any channel that I put videos out, content, as much as I've gone and said, that's not necessarily fair. How can you make one man not wait more than 2 days, or another man not wait more than 2 months, or another man not wait more than 3 weeks? Or you'll have a one night stand with a guy you found in the club just because he was nice to you and gave you attention. But then a man who's trying to take, pour into you wisdom, his time, his finances, and trying to see where this goes, and you're gonna make him wait till marriage, which might potentially be years from now. I would usually say that doesn't make sense to me. Maybe that's my flesh that was speaking. Maybe that's the worldly thought process when it comes to that. I don't know. But I think I have to press the pause button on that. I think I have to stop saying it. I can't be on here representing one thing and then saying out the other side of my breath or my mouth, oh yeah, but a woman shouldn't make a guy wait. It's not what I would tell a sister. It's not what I would tell my sisters. It's definitely not what I would want from a woman if she was asking me for advice. What I would say, oh yeah, you should not. I would definitely tell her, hey, listen, if he's serious, he can wait till marriage. So I had to stop. Repeating that.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, you're good.
It is healthy. It's healthy.
Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to talk about was have there been like qualities that you saw when dating, either I guess that you've seen when we were dating, and how that essentially amplified in a marriage, or qualities that were amplified in dating and how they didn't amplify in marriage?
Setting the foundation in a dating stage. Like, I feel like when I was first going to our church now, Worship of Wonders, it was a thing where I was going for a minute, and then I was like, man, this is a really good place, and I told you about it, and you were very open to say, hey, I would love to come. And it didn't feel awkward. It wasn't forced. It was a place that we both went to. It's just like, you experienced what I was graced to experience, and then us experiencing that together and going and joining like a year later, and been there for a couple of years now. It's just like, that was the invisible foundation of, God, we want to keep you in this, so like, we brought your sister to the church one time for prayer night, and I just feel like those small moments that seemed insignificant in that moment were really important of, God, we want to keep you in this, even in the very beginning stage leading to our marriage too. So that was definitely important to me, for us to be able to do that together. So
yeah, I also think too that some of these I guess instances a lot of people don't do when they're dating, and I feel like that is a detriment to marriage. Of course, like, the Lord loves marriage, he's the one that created it, but I feel like those qualities going into marriage, if you kind of don't see them or establish them, it can be very difficult. There's, especially when you bring someone to church when you're dating, like, that's a telltale all.
Yeah.
yeah, you can. Observation is, well, like I tell people, because you can learn so much just by looking at things, just by having discernment to be able to say, all right, let me see if this person's nervous, because when it comes to dating, if you're intentional about it, you really don't want, I'm not going to say you really don't, but you should always look for somebody who is open to letting you know, hey, this is what I believe about God. This is how I feel. This is what he's done in my life. Because if you're shy about that, it's just like, I don't know. I just feel like that's weird in a way if you don't talk about who God is to you. You don't have to be super overly religious, but it's a thing where it's just like, you should never be ashamed to say, hey, like, this is what I believe. This is who he is to me. Because if you understand him as a father, it's just like, why would you not? You introduce your spouse to your family or somebody you want to date. So it's just like, hey, this is who he has been in my life. So I feel like this is really important too.
It's like you introducing God as like your parent.
I feel like I don't think that's how we should label it. I don't think that's how he's labeling it. I think he just said it in the moment of a completely different point he was actually making, and he's right. But I just don't think we should let people feel that if they're not, you know, bringing God up, bringing God in the conversation. And I don't think, again, I don't think that's what he's saying. But let me finish my point so you can understand where I'm going with this. I don't think that if you're meeting a woman or you're trying to see where this goes and you're courting, you're in the courting stage. I don't think that not having conversations consistently about God should be labeled as shame. Like, oh, you're ashamed. Cause I'm of the cloth and the belief that, bro, the last thing I want to do to someone is feel like I'm trying to persuade them. Like, I think it's our jobs, of course, to be open to conversation, even semi debating conversations, but more so to be open to give answers where we have them. And if we don't, we go back to fellowship or we figure it out, or we can learn what the person asking. But I think we're supposed to be, or we should be more so receptive to engagement and conversation and definitely questions or concerns about the faith. Do I think I go into every relationship thinking, oh, where can I squeeze God in? And maybe that's a flaw on me. Maybe that's what I should be pursuing and seeing where I can, oh, this is a perfect moment. I wonder why. That's something for me to do some reflecting. I wonder why I don't walk around with every female I'm trying to court and get to know, and I'm like, oh, let's talk about God here. Oh, I could talk. Oh, that's a perfect point. I never really gave that too much thought. But again, maybe this is me being defensive, but I'm just saying, I don't think that it's a shame thing. I think it's more or less, religion, politics, there's certain things that, unless someone is open and giving me all the signs that they're interested, I don't walk around trying to force that down nobody's throat.
And of course, they should definitely be thinking the same thing, but it's kind of like you introducing someone to like an in-law.
Yeah, like the Bible says, you will know them by the fruits. So it's just like
Yeah.
you can tell what somebody believes in and what they spend the most time around when you meet somebody. You know, just to use an example that's just popping in my head now. Like if you meet somebody with a group of friends and it's like, hey, this is my other friend. It's like, yeah, like we hang out. You're just like, oh, they probably turn up all the time. Versus just like you meet somebody, you can tell how they treat their family, their friends, how they're intentional with the things in their life, and it's just like, okay, I can tell that you have a strong foundation of who you are and who God is to you because these are the things that you value. So I feel like that's really important too.
That's good. Okay, so one other thing too, there's like this whole situation where like young people aren't getting married, or even when we were engaged, a lot of people gave us unsolicited advice. Could you give advice to someone like that? Because so for to give you all the backstory, so when we were
Yeah.
engaged, a lot of people would be giving us advice that kind of didn't really match our personalities. For example, it's gonna be really difficult, it's gonna be really hard, but you're gonna work things out, da 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 da. Or what other stuff were they saying?
It was a lot of that, like you said, but I feel like even in the moments of, again, going back to the importance of having that foundation of the Lord, I don't know everything, but I know if truly, genuinely, like he said, he searches the heart. If you know my heart, then you will lead me. So like even if I didn't know everything or we didn't know everything, we knew that, okay, that sounds like it's coming from a good place, but that's not the case for us. Because it's a thing where that didn't line up with anything the word said. God says, hey, I bless you, I'm with you, I'm always with you, versus, oh yeah, it's just you can't allow people to project things that don't belong to you. So it's just like that exterior and interior armor of this is what God says marriage is, that my heart's desire lines up to desire that. So it's just like that's what I'm going to experience. So it's just having confidence of knowing that when God is on your side and he's the foundation, then that's what you should expect. You should expect good fruit. You shouldn't expect worry, doubt, fear. Yes, there may be challenges, but knowing that he's your foundation, you won't just stray away. So yeah, you can't just listen to everybody.
Yeah, I think it's also just like people putting their own.
That's definitely something that I gotta work on. It's not that, ain't by no means am I, gullible and you can walk up and say, the Lord told me this about you. Or just, bring your, what she's about to lead to. It sounds like she's about to say something along the lines, and I could be wrong, but like people projecting like, oh, but I do want to say, it sucks that you have to move the way he's saying, Act accordingly. You got to move how you have to move. Because he's right. You can't just allow anyone to, drop whatever they have and say this package is for you. And it's not. It doesn't have your name on it. It ain't sent from nobody who love. Like, you can't just, oh, okay, I guess I'll take this home with me. No, you got to be careful. I think I'm open to letting people speak. Doesn't mean I'm going to accept it all. Doesn't mean I'm going to apply it. But for the most part, I feel like you can judge people by their principles and by their patterns. And if someone has shown me in my life time and time again, family or friend, that they have the best interest when it comes to me, and I have the best interest when it comes to them, I don't see nothing wrong with that. And I don't think that we should go, that doesn't apply to me. I don't have anger problems. Because that's almost like saying, you go through something and you're like, or someone tells you, yeah, I don't know how to deal with this. And you don't think to yourself, as a student of the game, as a student of life, you don't think, man, not only do I want to help this person figure this out, but that's something I should watch for in my life. Or what area does that apply in my life? Or how is this person, what's the best possible outcome for this person? And maybe I should keep that in my holster, for when I cross this bridge. The same mindset of not saying, oh, that doesn't apply to me, I'm not going to learn. Like, you never know. It could apply to you one day. God forbid. So the point I'm making is, if someone's coming up to you, I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think someone's saying, hey, listen, it's going to be hard. It is. It's going to be hard. And thank God that you've found love, and then you're in a position where you're like, I don't understand what these people were even yapping about. Thank God. Thank God it hasn't been that hard. Doesn't mean that it won't be one day. But more importantly, that's just love. That's just coming from a place of love. They're like, man, some people weren't taught that. Some people didn't have what they're doing to you. They didn't have a uncle or a fellowship, a fellow church goer to come up to them and say, hey, listen, this is what marriage is. They had to bump their head and find out the hard way. So sometimes when you weren't taught something, but you're trying to give the best because you want the best of the person you're giving game to, it might come across in a horrible way. It might come across like, where did that come from? Or why are they even talking about that? It's not. It's out of love. I refuse to believe that people, that more, I refuse to believe and accept that there's a bigger number of people who just like to talk, as opposed to there's a big number of people who actually, when they go out their way to speak to you, care. And yeah, you have your select few who just Yapaholics Anonymous. But again, as the man said, you don't have to accept everything you're hearing. You don't have to even think that it applies to you, or you don't even have to go, oh man, I wonder if they learned that in their relationship. Like, you don't even have to sit back and go, I wonder who was the one with the anger issues. Because this lady was telling me how when in a marriage and anger issues, watch the way you speak, be slow. She was giving me scripture. You don't have to go, I wonder if she was the angry one or he was. All you have to do is go, that's free game. Put it in my pocket.
Personal projections or personal fears and experiences on us, and then
Right.
kind of entangles with advice. That is also why you can't take advice from everybody. There was this lady, you remember that lady when we were at that restaurant?
Oh yeah, we were actually celebrating.
Were we celebrating? We were just having a good time.
Everything's a celebration. Yeah.
There's this couple that was right next to us.
Oh yeah, like what is? I didn't even ask her, but she kind of like voluntarily gave some advice. So, but it was a thing where my heart and the ears of my heart was looking for, hey, keep Christ first, keep Jesus first. That keeps my marriage strong. It was very materialistic, and she was talking a lot about with her husband. I'm just like, again, you can just even if this is coming up. Even if you don't know, if you truly pray from a genuine place of Holy Spirit, show me.
Yeah.
It's not, you just have all this clarity, but if you're open and present in the moment, it's a thing where when people say certain things to give you advice or types of words, it's just like, okay, I can't let this plant or take root in my heart, because if some people say things that don't align with what God has for you, you'll believe those things, and that could lead you straight to a path of doubt of like, okay, I feel like I really like this person, but a conversation, maybe I should be worried about this versus like God's like, I didn't tell you that at all. So just truly having that, again, keeping your heart open and pure to be able to hear from Him. Really important.
Okay, it's coming back to me. Basically, she was exposing to us how much, like, per dollar her husband made at the time, which I thought was very weird and odd. And then she was basically talking about that communication is the thing that held their marriage together. Communication is, of course, very important, but God foundationally was what we were looking for her to say, but she didn't say that. I will also say, just like, take heed to certain things, and you can't accept everyone's prayers. You can't accept everyone's gifts. Pertaining your marriage and your covenant together. That's something that I feel like we've been just learning. Okay, so let's give some practical tips to people that may be single, they're either dating or they're looking to get married and haven't found the right person yet. So what are some things that they can do to essentially prepare themselves for marriage, and that they can essentially groom themselves with the Lord on how to prepare for marriage?
Truly stay before Him, stay before His presence. And like I tell people when people ask me about, well, I don't know how to pray or how to ask for things, knowing that that true indicator of I don't know how to gives God all the more room to be able to say, okay, now I can help you. So truly, like, speaking to men specifically, it's a thing where your heart has to be in the right place, first and foremost. Genuine outpour, say, God, I need you. And He'll show you things that maybe you need to change, or habits you need to, like, get out of the way that could be detrimental to your pursuit to that, or just anything that's distracting you from that. It's just a thing where you have to have your heart in the right place, and to know that even if you don't have everything figured out financially, whatever it could be, it's just like, if you trust the Lord to be who you say and believe Him to be in your life, then He got you. So
how can someone have their heart in the right place?
Spend time in His Word, and God showing you, like, and conviction is also a loving thing, because as you read His Word, it begins to read you to a point where you can say, okay, if God says this, and this is the way towards the promises He has for my life, and this stubbornness or pride or whatever it is that's in the way, then I have to look in the mirror and say, okay, you know what, that gotta leave, that gotta bounce, because that's not going to help me get to that place where I want to be, and most importantly, God wants me to be in my relationship, in my walk, in my life. So, and just truly understanding, like, when God convicts you, the Holy Spirit is just like, oh, He wants you to change. It's a father saying, hey, like, come to the huddle, let's talk about this. If you want to get here, I need you to go back out there and do it this way. So it's just like not being afraid of conviction, and also just knowing that God ultimately wants what's best for you. So just, you can't be afraid of that, even if you don't understand it, you know? Yeah. What about you?
I would say for preparation, like you said, honestly, y'all, before me and Aspen met for real, I was on a very intense fast. I even told, like, one of my best friends, I was like, I can't talk to you during the season because, you're not going to hear from me as much, because I was very much fasting. And it wasn't necessarily I was fasting for a husband, quote unquote. I was fasting because I just wanted to get closer to the Lord.
Right.
I felt like I needed to cleanse. So
that's good.
That is, that's kind of like what I was just in the process of doing. So in our own separate walks, we were getting closer to the Lord, and then we ended up meeting at the Lord, literally meeting at the Lord's feet. So I hope this episode was great. If you guys have questions for Aspen and I in regards to, like, marriage or even dating, please let us know. We'd be happy to, like, jump back on here and, talk about this some more.
They both. The devil ain't ever too far, ain't? 8 is like, where are we going with this? We over here we over here having a positive talk, and that's just gonna pop up just in time. New musical. I'm in. They both said some good things. What stuck out? As you read the word, it reads you. And definitely don't hesitate, don't ever take. How can someone listen? You need to take it to, you want to talk about to His feet. You need to take it to the cross. If every time someone, gives you advice, encouragement, feedback, it's always taken from a place of backlash, hate, jealousy, you definitely got to deal with that. Because there should never be a moment where someone is giving you game, free game. You didn't pay for this. You didn't ask. Most of the time, we didn't ask for it, which is also healthy to have some leaders that you speak to, some counsels. But yes, you know, you're given discipline. Someone's disciplining you, and you take it as, oh man, this person is this. This person, no, conviction, healthy. It's needed. Read the word; it'll read you. That was clean. I don't think I've heard that one yet. Must have got it from somewhere. That was clean. But yeah, chat. And again, they're right. I'm not disagreeing with the last point. They're right. You can't just accept everything someone comes and feeds you. You can't. You can't. Because what are you feeding yourself? Mentally, physically. What are you feeding yourself? Are you gonna eat anything anybody hands you? Oh no, it's good, I made it. No, of course not. But I guess my point is, what might not apply now, you know, though, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. Sometimes. But what might not apply now can be the very thing you need to apply later. So, take the game. Take the game, or the game will take you. You know, I'm trying to like one up his line. Read the Bible, the word will read you. I got a one up. He got it. Alright, chat. Y'all show their channel some love. Oh, we're not done. Where am I going? Oh, here we go.
The thing with Samaya is that Shorty be around them niggas. And what I mean is that for someone who is crying
Bro gonna ruin the video.
about being the community ball, the way she moving ain't matching the things coming from her mouth.
I just don't do shit like this. Is so weird. And I'm only addressing it online. I let everything else slide. Like I do. But if you come to something on the internet, I'm gonna address it on the internet. Period, point blank.
I've been real charitable to Shorty because I understand
Me too.
a bunch of dreamers trying to make it with social media.
I stuck up for her.
Constantly surrounded in rapper
I said she's not a community ball. Just give her a minute.
Evidently, you ain't learned your lesson. It's gotten to the point where it's starting to feel like Shorty is moving on Tubi timing, and it's frying me bad because when I initially made my video on how everyone
Explain
was
yourself.
calling her the community ball, I was
Tubi
not
timing?
understanding. I even spoke on the double standards and how there are pressures to collab with them niggas. But when you're
Pardon
beefing with other women over rap
Pardon me.
niggas, and I'm seeing you go back and forth with DJ Academics, you overdoing it with the Tubi gimmick. Everything from this point on is going to be the plot of a Tubi movie. Comment for the algorithm. Okay, so let me preface this all by showing y'all just how much of a clown show Samaya has been putting on. So do y'all remember when this happened?
Yeah, I've seen this. Somebody clipped it.
Oh man.
Also, I need to mention, at this time, Samaya was 19 and No Cap was 27. Very weird circumstances, and honestly, it makes it easier for me to rationalize how everything else went. When I made my second video on Samaya, I was thinking that she had turned Floyd down.
Bro, you didn't even... Oh, you're about to get to it now. I'm like, you didn't explain the clip. The point of that clip, when I seen it, the big thing was, it was Mayweather trying to send one of his guys to go get her name and number. But you're about to break it down. Go ahead.
I was thinking that No Cap was tripping. Why is everyone on her head? And then he responded to this clip by subbing Samaya on social media, and he put stay loyal to the game, not him. So in my head, that validated everything I was thinking. But there were niggas saying that in the reflection of the car, you can see her giving her contact information. I never really seen it, but what I do know is that it did get confirmed by Raya when she was with Silky that Samaya did indeed give her number out.
Oh, when somebody took the nigga number.
Yeah.
So you just confirmed it, okay.
No, she didn't take the number. He gave her. I mean, she gave.
So
Someone should have told him he's not supposed to say that part. Chat, right here. You can see her friend helping her out. And then as he walks away, I mean, you can say what you want. You can say, you know, oh, y'all reaching, you're overthinking. But it's real obvious. Anybody who has ever spoken to someone, friend, stranger, family member, and you walk away, you're saving the contact. You're saving the contact. You know, you got the number. They put their name in, and you're saving it. You're just paying attention to your phone for a reason. He just walked away. There would be no other reason. And this is for grown folks. This is for people who have no problem saying, you know, we can think for ourselves. We don't need to believe. It's not about a rumor. It's not about the thing that's going to get clicks or the thing that's going to sell. It's just think for yourself. Everybody knows if you walk away from two people, you're Mayweather's friend. I don't care whose friend you are. If I send my friend, who's probably security or just an associate of mine, to go grab a girl's number, and there's something happening off camera where, you know, she's not doing something, but her friend's taking care of it, putting her name and number. He walked away without any, I mean, he just wants to be friends, get to know him. He wasn't still trying to persuade him, as most friends would, like, you know, you sure? Oh, you have a man? It was nothing. It was like he just stopped talking while she's getting the number, and then walks away looking straight at his phone. Not looking back at them, not paying attention to where he's going, looking at his phone. It's obvious that he was saving it, which is fine. I mean, the man said be loyal to the game, not me. But yeah, oh wait. I should have just let it play.
Season of the traitors is finally here.
Are you okay?
Oh, man.
Look as he walks away. Again, think for yourself.
My name is Maya, but I have Maya.
Say your name again. Putting it in the phone.
Oh, man.
Also, I need.
See, so what must have happened is he's trying to get her number. Her friend is just being a W friend. Not really, because if you encourage your girl to cheat, you're not being a W friend. But she takes the phone, and she's not playing no games. You're with Mayweather. She put Maya's name in there, then handed the phone right back. Now he's saying, wait, what's your name again? Because he's trying to put the name.
At this time, Samaya was 19 and No Cap was 27.
Yeah, you said all that.
Samaya on social media, and he put "stay loyal to the game," not him. So in my head, that validated everything I was thinking. But there were niggas saying that in the reflection of the
So you
phone,
were
niggas
thinking.
giving her contact information. I never really seen it, but what I do know is that it did get confirmed by Raya when she was with Silky that Samaya did indeed give her number out.
Oh, when Smart took the nigga number.
Yeah.
Please just confirm it, okay?
No, she didn't take the number. He gave her. I mean, she gave.
So Samaya was just lying about getting Floyd's contact, and this would mean that No Cap was justified in what he was saying, until you realize that another girl named Chicago Hottie had exposed the fact No Cap was not only in her DMs, but he was following her, and he was also allegedly saying some stuff in DMs with Chicago Hottie's friends.
Your nigga got taste. Your nigga got taste. Your nigga got taste. And let me show you how easy your nigga is. This ain't even my messages. These ain't even my messages, bitch. But your nigga texting my bitches. Huh? Your nigga, hey, I don't even want to show him. I don't even want, as a matter of fact,
No, you do. You do want to show it.
So not only are they both
We literally know you want to show it.
the beef really got ignited when Chicago
Why else would you show it? It's not even yours.
Video of Samaya getting beat up. Yeah, I know. I told you this is really like a Tubi movie. I don't think Samaya really started this beef per se, but it's
We
like
wouldn't know.
people you're around sort of thing.
Tubi
This is what I
movie.
was trying to get across when I made my first video on Samaya.
Hey, it's not because I'm trying to act bougie.
Look at it like some shark-infested
But,
waters.
come on.
I don't think
Netflix,
Samaya was curating her spaces well enough.
Tubi.
Now she has all of these problems. This is a long-distance relationship, according to her, by the way.
I just want to cuddle. That's another problem. Like, oh my gosh, I cannot do the phone with this.
And this is after the whole Floyd Mayweather thing too, bro, so it just looks a mess. It's looking real messy. How do you go from publicly beefing with your rap boyfriend to talking about missing him because y'all are long distance? It's just about perception. And if you're going to cry on camera for the world to see because you aren't liking how you're being perceived, why are you allowing yourself to be perceived in that way? It doesn't make any sense to me. But I had to get all that out the way because we need to talk about Samaya and Academic.
Logic,
He's basically
skip
accusing
scene.
Samaya of turning into an industry ball. You already already know what I mean. It's no secret. In the industry, there are women who everyone knows and is trying to get a piece of. And don't get me wrong, I think the streaming space is hella misogynistic. I know niggas will say any woman is a goer or a whore, but it all goes back to perception and how you carry yourself. And if you've been seeing different types of rappers and different types of streamers, you know what energy you're giving off. Samaya has been seen hanging with Trippie Redd. And here's the thing with Trippie. This nigga recently had a baby with Coi Leray.
Oh yeah.
Cheated on Coi Leray before she
that
was
checks
pregnant,
out.
and apparently while she was pregnant. That shit is pretty evil, twin. No Cap and Samaya also had a little back and forth over this, with No Cap telling Trippie Redd to not act funny, and Samaya telling No Cap to be loyal to the game, and that she's single. And then Trippie responded to this by saying #NDA, which could be alluding to either the album that he's trying to drop or the one Samaya could have signed. But when you see a streamer go from being around them niggas and then being around the
checks
rap
out,
dudes, you start understanding that shorty is playing with her own image. When you moving loose and you moving like your energy is something that is easy to access, of course niggas gonna call you a ball, bruh. I do wish we called more men community balls though.
Why? Bro, Skipsy. Chat. This is the thing. This is what you come across when you have a very pretty female who is still young. Chat, in her mind, like, I really have a whole hour video chat on my page where I sat here explaining you got to judge people according to their principles, how they move. But just because she's content creating with other men doesn't give us the right to run with it and say, you get the pun? The pun is run with it and say she's the community ball. It's a decent pun. My point is, chat, this is what happens when you get someone who gets on camera and cries real crocodile tears expressing you guys are dead wrong for assuming I'm trying to do content and collab like other men and no one judges them, and guys like me and, you know, possibly some of y'all go, you know what, you're right. But because she's still so young, in her mind she thinks she can do these things. Never mind consequences. That's her business to deal with. You know, as it is ours and the decisions we make. Consequences. Some of y'all would know. A lot of y'all should know. But some consequences are instant. Some consequences are down the line. These consequences just happen to be down the line. And she thought she could get away with doing little behaviors, pardon me, and just excusing it by, when you're young, bro, you actually believe, because you convince yourself, like, nah, I'm going to do this, but if anybody even says it looks away, I'm going to just say it's this. But everybody else who has lived a little bit of life, who is an adult, who knows common sense and how to use it, we all see right through it. And it's not your fault. I mean, it's your fault. But in your mind, you've convinced yourself that if you would believe it, you look at it like, well, I would believe it. I'd believe it. I mean, how can they prove it? But there's knowing and then there's proving. And we couldn't prove it in the beginning. But they knew it. I was one of the few over here like, no, give her a chance. You know, it's one thing if she's on stream kissing guys and twerking on every guy. But it's another thing if she's just doing content and just hanging out. She's at this guy's house. She's maybe hanging out. She's at this guy's house. She's doing content. I said, let's be slow to judge. Let's be slow to assess the situation. And I was wrong. And it is what it is. I mean, I'm going to be wrong a lot of times on this channel. I'm going to be wrong more often than I'm right. But I was dead wrong. Y'all were right. She's willing to get on a plane, PJ with a rapper and be flown out. And he's comfortable enough to say something like NDA when discussing her in front of another person, in front of the internet. Two rappers discussing one female. So it just shows her, I don't know if we can say naiveness though. Like, you knew what it was when you signed up.
That's neither here nor there.
And in all of these cases, time is always going to be the thing that makes you the winner. Because
why?
Right now, yo, trust me, the other rappers are inquiring about you like you're like the newest Ferrari.
Right.
Yo, what's up with her? She got the head? Yo, they're doing Yelp reviews. I don't know if you know. Like, no one's saying, oh, is she fun to hang out with at a vacation? This is how the conversation. Yo, Somalia, yo, she fire now. Yo, how's the head? Yo, she like girls? Yo, this shit tight? That's how the conversation is talking about you, gang. Oh, they didn't tell you. This is why I know Cap was embarrassed. Even when you were staying at his house, he's embarrassed. You're staying at his house. He left to go fuck some other bitch, but he's embarrassed to say, "Oh, that's my girlfriend." And maybe, and I ain't gonna lie, I do think he likes her. But he's.
You ever had one of those days when it's just too
No.
hard to keep working?
Oh yeah, I have. But I mean, we just kept working.
Trippie Ray just brought you on a trip. You know what he responded to No Cap with? NDA. Nobody.
I see.
Like, listen, you're the modern day Selena Powell, Superhead. We've had.
Now there is so much.
I mean, I don't know if she's there already.
This is kinda nasty. Assuming it's true. If a bunch of dudes are talking about a shorty like this, they're definitely tripping. And it's definitely a pretty blunt showcase of how women are commodified and viewed. Not the video for that though. But I can also say that that's basically the harsh reality of the entertainment industry. And that's why I said, these some shark-infested waters. And if you're a woman, I can't stress it enough.
You don't even believe in Jesus.
This is literally succubus type stuff. They're trying to drain you.
I don't know, chat. I'm just joking.
Academics. He's a weirdo. But he's not saying this stuff for no reason. But Academics and Samaya going back and forth really started with this video.
How much a man gotta make for you to take them serious? How much a month? Over 6 figures a month. I was just about to say, yeah, she's high maintenance, y'all. So I'll do over 6 figures a month.
Academics had seen it and he was like, this sounds like some escort politics. And honestly, low-key, there's definitely a conversation to be had about how social media is grooming young girls into this type of weird transactional lifestyle by glorifying this wealth and making that the goal when pursuing relationships. So yeah, this definitely doesn't sound right. If money is what makes you take a man serious, then is the relationship not transactional? If you are being bought into the relationship and it's being maintained by the money and you're throwing a little cooter around, that's definitely some escort politics. I'm gonna keep it real.
Well,
how much a man gotta make for you to take them serious? How much a month? Over 6 figures a month. I was just about to say,
And keep in mind, these girls are like under 25. They have a little bit of following on social media. Guys are trying them out left and right. These girls,
yeah.
when they're popping this type of shit,
Uh-huh.
the guys who got the money, fly them out. Maybe they think a bag is cool. I ain't buying a bitch a bag, but whatever. Like they're hypnotized by money. You fuck them for a week and you send them back. And they sit there, post a bunch of pictures of places you've been, shit you live in, cars you drive, and they get back on the track and wait for the other millionaires to fly them out. Like, it's kind of a sad life. I don't know how they make it look so lit. They make it look so lit. Like, yeah, you got to make this amount of money. Chat, these are the women you do not take serious. Like come on. Like, a woman that gives the criteria of how much you need to make, you don't take serious, period, right?
I really hate agreeing with this nigga, but he's just not necessarily wrong. If you got a price...
AK, you're not wrong. And to piggyback on your point, it's not that it looks lit, it's that it is lit. When you're as young and as pretty as these young ladies are, it is lit. It is lit having attention from a guy and you're like, I kind of got a crush on him. And then you get something out of it and he's saying the right things and he's making you feel like he might potentially take you serious. He's buying you dinner and your girls and you get to get on a PJ with them. That's lit. You're taking pics and you're flexing for IG and your followers. That's lit at that age. When you know, well, not that you know no better. Again, I'm not giving them a pass like they're naive to their actions. But in your mind at that age, unless someone is telling you better, showing you better, unless you're willing, that's the spirit I look for in any woman that I would try to take serious and potentially wife. A spirit that's willing to compromise, willing to work for it, willing to build, willing to see past her selfish ways, willing to overlook some of my selfish ways, willing to forgive, willing to be, teachable, willing to be peaceable. These things that I also would want to be or work to be. But anyways, let's stay focused. The point that I'm making is it's lit. They're not making it look lit. It's lit. But again, these decisions now have these decisions now have consequences. Some are rapid, some are slower. The ones that matter are a little slower. It's easy to get a couple Chanel bags and a couple steaks in restaurants and a couple gifts here and there from this guy and then this guy. And you're seeing their home and they're talking to you. They're saying all the right things on text. If you showed someone your text, if she could show y'all some of the text she's getting from some of these guys, you would go, does he like you? You would ask yourself. But because we didn't skip scene and we understand the game, we would, at the end of the day, we would go, nah, he's just running game. We understand that. But it's her job. It's her job to go, yeah, you know what? I'm glad people called me out. This is looking a little crazy. Like, I barely know this man. I let him fly me out. It wasn't for content. It really wasn't. I did it for all the wrong reasons. Let me take advantage of all the eyes on me. And let me start moving right and push more content out. And get me right first. Get me right. And then maybe I can build and have a potential relationship. But when you're that young, you're like searching for the next relationship. It's like you see, the woman is making a video to tell y'all, I'm so lonely, I want to cuddle. That's what happens at that age. And then you mix in sexually active in the picture, and you're yearning for someone to come into your life. Just go ahead and make you feel like it's real.
I'm not saying you gotta date a broke nigga, but if you're getting numbers on partnerships and not serious, I know you're a bot. And it looks like Samaya might be friends with some goers. Also, I know for a fact academics be around those caliber.
Tell us how you really feel.
In the industry, he's one of the industry's biggest names. So I'd say he has some authority on spotting them out.
It's like a vibe. The music.
Maya did respond to this, but she was being homophobic, which is lame as hell.
No.
In 2026, homophobia gimmicks are very played out. If you're still being homophobic in 2026, you're lame as hell. I will say though, Samaya was right when she said academics is the type of dude women need to stay away from. The only issue is that she just never actually addressed any of what he was saying, so
of course not.
Kind of falls there.
I do stand on what I said. I do believe that you are part of, or some of the stuff you're glamorizing is part of escort culture. And there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not telling you how to live your life. You're a 20-year-old girl. Everybody goes through mistakes. Listen, I've been younger, and I've made my mistakes in different things I did. Not saying, listen to me. This is not a soapbox talk. But I do want to let everybody know, because they're seeing a lot of these things.
Ain't half bad.
It's about, like, when you watch relationships, and by the way, all this got unraveled just like the gang shit. These days, the internet shows us so much. All of the facades are starting to break. Remember when we thought all these relationships were perfect, then we found out this person's cheating with this person, this happened.
Right.
We used to look at Instagram and watch people just show cars after cars that they're buying for each other, this, that, and third.
Yeah.
Until we start seeing all this shit crack. So it is
unraveling.
You know how many girls who I know get lip fillers because they watch girls, maybe not necessarily.
From chat, from unwrapping to unraveling. Unwrapping presents to unraveling.
Good points. And that's really the purpose of this video. Less than me cooking some
presents unwrapping to present unwrapping to unraveling.
Or think or really care.
I'll work on it.
That's just going for these rappers and streamers. But
let's put a pin in it. Revisit it.
And she was around the streamers, and she is around the materialistic women. That's basically groupie 101. Even if she isn't actually doing any of that herself, it just kind of appears that she's moving that way. And not to mention, just being around it and making it seem positive. It's just like Academic said, you're glorifying your lifestyle. And there's young women that see this, and it's really not what you want to be around. Those type of rappers, those streamers, those people are succubuses. They're trying to drain your energy. We're more influenced than what we know, and that's really what it is. So with that being said, Samaya is still no bad energy. This is how I feel at the end of the day. But I will say, if you move like a groupie, niggas gonna say you're a groupie. That's really all I had to say.
Follow the money.
Unsolicited opinions. Y'all niggas be blessed. I'm gonna get up out of here. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about you, a grown man, telling me a grown man bye bye. I might have ignored it with a just bye. I'm gone. Bye. Till next time. Bye. Bye bye. Good content. All right, chat. Get out.